Hello everyone, and welcome to my first After Effects how-to video. Today we're going to be going over the basics of what everything is. It's pretty daunting when you first open it up and see all this random stuff. At first I had no idea what I was doing, but once you get used to it, it's still pretty complicated, but you can work around it. So basically we're going to go over some general things this time. So when you first open it up, the thing you have to do is start a new composition. These are just the presets for 720p. This is the frame rate. You can choose 29.9. You guys probably know what that is. So yeah, and then this would be your duration. You can have it, let's see, 1 minute. 1 minute long. Okay. And then this is the background color. We'll make that black. So you just pull that over there. Yeah. Okay. So now we just got a black background. That's comp 1. This is everything that goes in that you can pull from. This is like your tool bench kind of thing, where you can just pull anything you want from there. So there's that. And then right here is the effect controls. I'll go over that later. Yeah, so let's go ahead and import a clip. So the first thing you're going to do is File, Import, File, or multiple files, depends on what you're trying to do. This one you can do more than one at once, and this one you can only do one at a time. So let's just do this. I'm just going to go bring in some random clip. You just look through your files. Let's bring in this. So then it brought it to this, right, the tool bench I called it, but it's called the project area. So yeah, we got it in there now. You can just drag it. You can either drag it like that or down here. And now to move through the timeline like this, you just drag and drop. So now our clip's in there. Okay, so color correction, maybe? No, let's not do color correction. Let's go over some more basic things. To open up the controls of this, you want to click this little arrow right, or this triangle thing here. There's your transform and your audio. You can click down one more time. You can change your anchor point. That's just this little dot thing in the middle. Position. So if I wanted it to be here or here, I could change that. See how those values are changing as I move it around. Scale, you can move it up, move it down. Oh, position's all weird now. There we go. Okay, rotation, you can rotate it that way or that way. And opacity, you can make it see-through or fully open. So that's that. And then here's the audio. This clip does have audio on it, so we'll have that. This is the audio level, so if you want it to be really loud, you can turn this up, turn it down. Okay. If you go one level further, you can see the waveform. So the higher it is on this wave, the louder it is, essentially. So these basically are gunshot sounds that are the big things, or maybe an explosion, I don't really know. So we're going to close that out. Yeah, so if we wanted to run through this clip and see what's going on, there's a couple ways to do that. You can press space, and it'll just go through it as fast as it can. Depending on how fast your computer, this might be really slow or it might be faster than mine. So press space again to stop it. Pull back to beginning. Or you can go over here to this preview tab, we'll call it. You can just press play here. It does essentially the same thing. If you want to have it, we can do this, press this button right here. It'll render it out as far as it can as you want it to, and then it'll play through it real time so that you can see what's really going on, and you'll have sound with this setting. So let's see. Alright, so that was a little more smooth, and you do get the sound with that one. Right here you can play it at whatever frame rate you want. You want it to have the same frame rate as the composition. If you want to change that frame rate, you can go into here, composition, composition settings, and right now it's set at 59.94, so you're going to want to have this at the same time. Another thing you can change is the quality of the preview. You don't really need it high because you just want to see what's going on essentially, so you can either have it at full if your computer's really good, or I just keep it at quarter so it renders really fast. Okay, let's go over a few of these tools up here. Selection tools, I guess you could say. This one just lets you move around. It's not really doing anything, and I just scroll back on the scroll wheel right there to zoom in, zoom out. Yeah, that one lets you move it around. Another solution for that, this is just a regular selection tool. You can hold space and move it around like that. Another thing is the magnifying glass. Zoom in, which is dumb. You can just scroll on the scroll wheel. This one is going to create a mask, so will this one. So with this one, it's selected at a square. So actually right now it's going to make a shape because we're not on this layer. To edit a layer, you have to make sure it's highlighted first. But yeah, click and drag, let go. That made a mask. I'll go over that later. You can also make a different shape mask by holding down. So what you do is hold down the button right there. You can go to polygon, polygon. Yeah, and then this is the pen tool. There's a couple more options there. You probably don't need to worry about that right now, but you click, 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 and you close it off. So yeah, there's that. This is the text tool. This will make a text layer. You just click, and you can write whatever you want. We'll go over a few text things. Hello. So to change the font size, we're going to have to go over here to the character. Yours might be a little different. These little boxes things might be a little different for you. I have mine a little bit customized, so they're a little bit weird, but you can change those by going to, I believe it's this. Yeah. Window, and then you can select whatever one of these boxes you want. So I have effects, composite, tools, all these selected. It'll just adjust them around here. Yeah. So to change this text size, you can go to font. This will just change the pixel size. This will change the distance between, if you want to write hello, hi. This right here will change the distance between those two. This will change the distance between letters. Yeah, most of the stuff is self-explanatory. You don't really want it that small. Okay, yeah, so there's that. Another way to change the size of this would be to go to transform. Transform, scale. You can scale it up like that. Okay, so now, another thing you might want to look into is adding an effect. That could be useful. I have mine right here. Yours might be here. It might be somewhere else. So basically what you want to do is go into here. Either you can type in what you want. You want blur or something like that. Or you can go through each of these things. Distort, maybe a bulge. And you just hold. And you drop it onto whatever you want to drop it on. So right now it's making a bulge. You need to open up the effects. Bulge. Vertical radius. Horizontal radius. You can drag it out too. You can drag it around. So yeah, it's pretty weird. Yeah, so there's that. So right now I'm going to go over basic keyframing. We'll just go ahead and delete this effect. Okay, so let's say I wanted, let's keyframe the opacity. So if you want it to be fade in from black, you would go to transform, opacity. So this, we're at opacity right here. Basically this thing puts on a keyframe. I'll tell you later what that is. And then you can, and then at that point, this is used to zoom in to, so this is making a smaller window. You can also use this to zoom in, kinda. I never use that though. Yeah, so there's that. So now each of these is a frame. Let's zoom in a lot so you can see each frame. See, these are each one frame. So each a picture. That's what a movie is. It's a lot of pictures. So at that point, there's a keyframe on that frame. So you can change that point to 100%. Let's say you wanted to go from 100% to 0% see-through. So it is completely black. Let's go to 1 second. And you just drag this to 0. You just hold here, drag it, or you can type in 0. If right here I want to place a keyframe, and I wanted it to be like 53 or whatever it currently is at that point, I could just click this, and it puts one right there. And it just copies whatever's already there. So that was 53. So it's going from 100% to 0%. So if I wanted to fade in really quickly, and then the last part, right here, you want it to go really slowly, kind of fade slower, you could drag this closer. So it goes right down to 50%, and then it takes a lot longer to get down to that last 0%, last 50% to get it to 0. So right there, we'll just go through that. So the first part, let's do it even closer. So it's going to go from 100 to 0, and then this last part is going to take a while. See what I mean there? Okay. There's a few more things you can do with that, but we're just going to leave it at that. So get rid of all the keyframes, you just press this again. This activates or deactivates the keyframe, so just leave it at 100%. Zoom back out here. Another thing, you can drag around anything if you hold down the space bar, basically. So I'm just dragging right now. So let's go ahead and keyframe a position. So let's say I had it here. Now let's say I have it there. So let's click P for position. You want to start a keyframe there. So it's at this position at that frame right there. We're drag to 2 seconds. And let's say we wanted it to be down here. So you see that in between there? It's going to ride that rail essentially and go from the middle part all the way to the second spot right there. So there's only 2 points, and it goes directly between those points. Zoom out so you can see what's going on. So yeah, it's just going between those 2 points. Okay, so let's say right here we wanted to, like, at that point we want it to be up here. So it just curves it right there. And with that, we made a little bit of a curve here. To adjust that curve, we just use these little bars right here. So it's going to ride that rail essentially. Let's zoom out and see as it's riding that. Yep. So there's that position. We'll just delete those. Scale. Just do the same thing. Start at 100%. Go to 2 seconds. Bring it all the way up to 140. So in that time, it's going from 100 to 140. So that's zoomed in. Yeah. For the next one, let me know what you want to go over. Maybe you have some questions about what I did here, or maybe something about that I haven't done yet. Yeah, feel free to give me suggestions, because I don't really know what I'm going to do next. Yeah, guys, thanks for listening. It's been Push Pro, aka Push NB, and I will see you guys next time.